Hi, for today's teardown, we have here some piece of Soviet avionics, probably a transceiver for radio navigation or radio communications purpose. So it is a very heavy piece, maybe 6 or 8 kilos, made from several modules. It seems we have one basis rack assembly. We have electronics at the back. Here, cover with power supply stuff, fuse and main connector. We have a high frequency, high power module here. It is written caution 2 kilovolts. At the front here we have some high frequency module with coax connectors on it. We have an handle here which is completely bent, and some setting here behind the cover. So what I will do first, we will have a look at what we have here. Then I will try to remove this module to have it out of the way because it will be easier. We will have a look in here, and in here also. Okay. Okay, so removing this rear cover here is just a matter of 4 screws. You can notice the very regular fuse holder. You find it everywhere on Russian electronics, either military grade or general use electronics as radios and TVs, in the shape of a flower like this, with a little Pi logo in the middle. Really common part. So this cover will come off like this. You can see it has quite a few dents inside in it. And here is what we have behind. Little PCB with what seems to be very small metal relays, resistors, an array of little black diodes, and 2 transistors. Very nice wire harness wrapped in Teflon. Go into it with red paint over the terminals, as you can see. Dead code on the transistors is 9087, and pretty thick conformal coating also. The fuse holder is screwed on this little bracket here, and here you have a main plug with silver coated contacts which are completely dark by now. Okay, for this. And by the way, the fuse is a 1 amp fuse, but as we do not know the operating voltage, we can tell if it is a lot or not. So on the front I will remove this module. It is just 2 screws and 1 coax connector here at the bottom. Already almost loose. So this wire, you can see, has this kind of little coax connectors with screw fittings, Teflon wrapping, and little plates indicating the plug number on which it is supposed to go. Phi logo or F, Cyrillic F 4 here, plug number 4, here we have a F2 and plug number 2. So I will remove this, oops, and I guess it will be the first thing we will look at. So there is one ground strap here. I will undo. Just 1 second. Oops. Oops. Screwdriver keeps sliding out of a screw. It is why. Okay, so very regular Russian screws here. and it is just an add-on module that will go with one more screw, like so. It is a little box like this in die-cast aluminium with 3 coax. This one here of a bigger size, and another one here. And you can see, by the way, I think pretty well here, it is silver plated brass probably, and the part which was not exposed to air is still very shiny. Interesting. And there is a little cover here which may allow to see inside. So I will put the camera overhead and we will start with it. Okay, so if I remember correctly, in fact there is not much to see inside this. Either it is potted or something like this, but I am not sure really. So you can see this screw as a provision for factory seal in this little metal cup, as always. This one is longer, by the way. And what do we have? One more screw, but this one does not want to come off. Maybe the thread is bad. Yes, must be this. Okay, and here is what we have, guys. Some kind of RF voodoo going on here. You can see this track here, going to this plate here, probably some kind of capacitive coupling here, and continuing here with these two things, and coming out here. For some reason the solders over the conductors of the coax connectors are covered with hard epoxy. The base plate, I do not know what it is, some kind of brownish material, and it looks like it is just screwed to the piece behind, and it seems there is nothing else behind. It seems to be completely flat. Interesting. You can see the thickness here of the metal box. Also the cover must be maybe 3 millimeters. Very, very impressive. And weird RF stuff. Backside of the cover is not even painted. Just one little quality control stamp or something like this. Okay, I will put this back in place and we will start to take apart the main unit. Okay, we are now at the top of the main unit. Just to show you another time here the warning sign with 2 kilovolts in Cyrillic. And here the manufacturer label. Type is A321. Preboard or device is this thing SZD-PM, and serial number here. So I would like to, it seems this main RF module is a separate part that will come off. But it is quite weird, because actually at the bottom we have this thing, which is a metal plate which will slide off and allow to see some wires. So I take it off completely, like this. You can see the wires are shielded until here, where everything is connected to a common ground. We have one extra part here to remove, so they are Teflon coated wires as always. And it seems, yes, I can slide this part here out of the way. And here I have what seems to be a connector with probably a threaded crown keeping it in place. So I will try to undo it like this, and it seems to be really hard. I needed something bigger, so I will try to unlock it and I will be right back. Guys, you know what? This thing is completely stuck in place. I did try with bigger pliers, and guess what is the result? Broken pliers. So it looks like it will not come off at all. Considering anyway the thing is already in bad shape, and anyways it will never be powered on again. And if I remember correctly, I really need to undo this module in order to access some screws inside or something like this to take it apart further. What I will do, it is a little bit sad, but I will cut the wires. Anyways, there is no numbers or anything on these wires, by the way. I do not know how they did install them in the correct order, because there is nothing to recognize them. They are all the same color and such. I will probably trim them shorter later, just in order to be able to reinstall the plate over them. Okay, so for this we are more or less good. I have another connector to undo, in fact here at the bottom, but it is nearly impossible to reach. It is a coax, this one, it should be easy. So first I will undo. I see 4 screws at the bottom, and it should allow to remove the module. It is sad for my pliers, by the way. Yes, it is more or less coming off, but it is still attached because of this coax connector here, which I may need to try to undo. As you can see, it is almost impossible to reach it. The cable is very short, so it is really not the best design I have seen. And I have a feeling that if I want to reinstall it after, it will be a real pain. It should be almost good. Not yet. Here we are. So, yes, it is just coming right off. We have nothing here at the bottom except this little connector here. What do we have? We have the 4 screws, and we have the bottom of this module, which you can see is solid aluminum with the wires I did cut. So it looks like they did block the glue this part in place with some silicone, or maybe some thread lock also, and really it is completely stuck in place, this thing. So we will see if it is not an issue later for taking it apart further, but really it is not coming off at all. Okay, but first we will have a look in this assembly, where it seems most of the electronics are located. I didn't do the screws, and it will go right off, and here is what we have. Quite nice so far. We have one module here with what seems to be high frequency transistors on a heatsink. And we have this very nice circuit board. First we will have a look at this. So with Dover boards, with transistors, capacitors coated in black paint, some cork wood assemblies here, and these brown things here are some kind of delay lines, I believe. You can see all not the contacts are used. On this one we even have only one contact used, so maybe there are pins at the other side also. And after this the PCB is just screwed in the case. One more assembly here of the same kind, and you can see the very nice wire harness here coming out of the main connector. And also it is attached on this little bracket here for your safety. It cannot move at all. So we have this module here which seems to be interesting. If I can undo it. So I see one coax here which is loose, by the way. Maybe I did already try to undo it one day. And it looks like I will have 2 screws to undo. Oops. Without warranty, they are the ones I really need to undo. Ah, yes, it is good. Okay. Try not to lose anything. Grab the screw here, and by the way, here is the other side of this plug which is connected to the main high frequency module. We have here a model and serial number on this thing, and we just have one cover which is not even screwed in place. And here is what we have inside. Yes, air mount components as always, and you can see the contacts, the leads of the power transistors here. So there must be bolt-shaped transistors with golden central piece here. In fact, you know what? It is just 4 bolts to undo, so I may try to do it if I find this. Is it the correct size? No. This one maybe. Yes. Okay. So let's undo the 4 bolts. Oh, it is nice. You know what? It looks like I'm missing something in my tool set. Very interesting. Ah, it is here. Okay. Not too bad. So, yes, it will come off very easily. So we have that seems to be aluminium heat sink with 4 bolts. So probably this kind of high frequency transistors, if they are high frequency transistors, contain barium, also gold, obviously. Okay, it should lift off. I need to save these bolts like this, and oh, guess what? It was too easy. We have screws at the other side, and one of them is not reachable because it is behind this capacitor. So I will not undo it. exactly, but you get the idea of how it is made. So I will reinstall all this and we will have a look at the other side. Okay, the other side, you can see the cover here is really bad. So what do we have? We have more boxes, one big transformer probably for the power supply needs, with one big power transistor and heatsink. Also a whole bunch of diodes in here, big diodes in metal bodies. And this will probably be some kind of power regulation PCB. We will undo this. Like so. Yes, more transformers, relays, a big grey odd shaped capacitor here, and here more of the same stuff, and you can see all the diodes here at the bottom, 12 of them actually. So this must be mostly power supply. One more little PCB here at the back. Okay, so I guess here one other PCB with more capacitors and diodes and stuff. I guess the real interesting part will be, let me just reinstall the two screws here, the big silver plated box here. I have no idea how to remove it. Yes, this is interesting because I see two screws here at the bottom, in fact, but here I see no screws, so maybe first either the cover must come off, or we just have long screws here, like so. So I will first undo this cover, and if it seems to be interesting, I will try to lift the module completely. Here is what we have on this side. No, in fact the other side will just be the solder side of this, with a little more parts, but it is not worth removing it, I guess. So you can see a whole bunch of quartz in here, with inductors here, and here a whole set of resistors and capacitors, all connected together with this PCB loaded with solder. So all this is one common ground plane or something like this, and a number of quartz to make the different frequencies you need. Some golden transistors here, debug mounted as always. And you can see this module has no connector, it is hard soldered here. And there is one more of these little brackets here, but here they did not attach the wires for some reason. Interesting. And there is actually a metal plate in the middle of the module, separating the two halves and making some shielding probably. The inside of the cover is still quite nice, and they did put some insulator material here, but you can see it is not exactly aligned on this for some reason. If I put the cover like so, it does not fit, it does not match, no, like so exactly. It is interesting. Why they did it, no idea. Okay, so I will reinstall this cover, and after this we will have a look at the main high frequency, high power unit. So, I am back with the main module. probably containing some very nice stuff, and removing the cover is just a matter of undoing two bolts at the top, like this. Here we are, and easy enough. So, here is what we have. First, this cover, a very thick piece of die-cast aluminium, black paint inside, probably for heat-sinking purpose, because you can see it has a built-in heat-sink fins, but there is no mechanical connection to the contents, so probably it will grab the heat just by the black paint or something like this. So here is what we have inside. First side, first we have a very strong structural plate in probably brass, silver coated brass. Some what seems to be high voltage parts, yes. Other side, 3 tubes probably containing power vacuum tubes, yes, which will be really difficult to access. We have here the other side of the impossible to undo connector, and one module here at the bottom, which seems to be interesting, but I am not sure if I will be able to access it. It will be fun probably. So first we will have a look at what we have on this side, because anyways, yes, it will be interesting to investigate. So we have transformer here, two 1600 volts rated capacitors here in very nice so glass insulators, sealed capacitors, very nice quality probably. These brown things here are actually high voltage diodes. They are just rectangular blocks with contacts each side, and they are probably a stack of diodes together to make high voltage, maybe germanium or either selenium. Another transformer here, circuit board here with one very nice beryllium colored ceramic piece. The other side we have these 3 tubes which must contain power vacuum tubes, but I have to see if it is possible or not to open them. I guess they are 3 times the same thing inside. You can see it is written L1, L2, L for lamp, in fact in Cyrillic maybe lumpy, even L3. On this one it looks the paint is already damaged on the screw, so I will open this one. So we must have some kind of power vacuum tube inside, but I do not know if it will be easy to open. Not much to see here. This part here is actually soldered in place. Maybe I can try to undo the screws here and open this one at least. The screw on the back here will be really fun to access. I will try not to drop it. This one is a little bit easier to access at least. Like this. I am out of the frame by the way. And last one. So if I lift gently, yes, I see stuff, but the screw here is still in the way, it seems. Oh, there is something else in the way. No, it is coming a little bit, but now I am annoyed with the wires. Ah, here we are. So we have socket with a drop screw inside, and we have this, which seems to contain our very beryllium power vacuum tube with this threaded screw around crown. So I hope this one will be a little bit easier to undo than the one around the connector. It seems it wants to be a pain also. So do I have any other pliers? These things are always a pain to undo. As you can see, sometimes you can try to grab like such and it will unscrew, but I will try to do something. I will be right back. So this time I was lucky and I was able to unlock this, which does not mean it is off already, by the way. I need to drive it out. You can see how painful it is. Here we are. Beryllium. So it should allow to pull, yes, very gently, if possible, what seems to be the vacuum tube. Which is not wanting to come off because I have no idea why. So you know what? I will not try further. I do not know if there are wires connected to it or something like this. Or maybe just the thing here on the side. This I can try to undo. It is always, this kind of assemblies are always a mystery to take apart. And no, it is just a setting and it will not come off at all. So I will reinstall it. So it is some kind of ceramic and metal vacuum tube, believe me. I will not try any further because you really do not want to break the tube and spill beryllium dust everywhere. So I will put back this in place. So I guess the two other assemblies are exactly the same. And I will try to separate this piece from the base plate because there is a module here at the bottom I would like to have a look at. So again I will be right back. And of course, guess what? I did just finish reinstalling the screw when I found this on my bench. Same player shoot again. I will be back. Okay, it is back together. Now I want to try to separate these two parts here. It looks like I did already undo one coax. I have one bolt here and one here. 8 millimeters, no, 9 this one is 8. So we will see. Well, it is not really 8 because in fact the key, the wrench is sticking on the bolt because the size is approximative and it will not fit exactly on the wrench. Problems with recent screws as always. So this one is off. Here there is a screw slot, so it will be a screwdriver job like this. And little corkwood assembly here, by the way. This. Now I can try to lift the thing, I guess. Try to. It is not coming off. Quite weird, because really I see nothing except wires, so. Or it is just a very tight fit. It is possible. Yes. Oh, there is another one somewhere. Let me see. No, really I do not see anything else. Oh, this side is coming off now. Little bit. Maybe it is just attached because of cables. Yes, yes or not? Because we have extra length on the cable, so it should not be a problem. And I do not see anything down here which is preventing me to pull. Interesting. This is definitely the first time I undo this part. As you can see, I have no clue of what I am doing. Try to prevent it coming back in place. Here also. Yes, it seems a matter of very tight fit on two screws. Quite a shame. Let me try one more time. Quite amazing how difficult it is to undo. Okay, now I am a little bit more loose and no, really there is nothing. Oh, maybe it is just the spring here, the shielding spring. This side is almost off. And it wants to come back in place. Really interesting. I guess one of the wire loom is making some springy action, but I do not see which one in fact. Maybe no, everything has a lot of space to spread out, so okay, so I will figure it out and I will be right back. At least, after a few minutes of very tedious wiggling around, it came off, and yes, it is only a very tight fit on the metal rods here. So we can see the bottom side of the tube containers with a lot of weird things in fact in here. It looks like we might have some kind of high frequency diode here at least, so I will try to undo this. It looks like I could. loosen the screw here, and it may allow me to pull out the thing, but my bench is a terrible mess with screwdrivers everywhere by now. I need a smaller screwdriver like this one. Yes, it is coming out of the way more or less. It should come out of the way, I guess, and allow me to... No, it will not because of the piece here. So I need to undo it completely. Or maybe just a little more like this. And here it looks like... Yes. No. Not sure. No. It is just a hole with a little metal plug. I was expecting this to be the tip of a high frequency diode, but no. So I will try to find a way to reinstall this, because it seems it will not go all the way in the hole in any position. Very nice. Okay, but you get the idea. Okay, this thing is awfully tedious. So, what do we have left? Yes, here this little module with not less than 8 screws to undo, to remove it from the case and for the cover. I am still trying to use my broken wrench. Now it is in the bin. So I have this coax here. I will try to undo. These things are terrible because you have no access. It is very small. Really not impressed here. Look at this, all the work just for unscrewing the connector. You cannot say you will use a wrench because there is no wrench slot or anything. Really a pain. I am even not sure if I will reinstall it later when reassembling. Wow. Not yet. At least. Okay. So now we can remove 4 screws to the module. So I do see only 2 coax going in this box. No power supply or anything. Quite interesting. Here we are. So little box, 3 screws to attach it. First this, which will not come off, of course. And here we may have, yes, gold beryllium ceramic high frequency diode. Very nice. So I guess I can reinstall this. We have some settings you can access from the outside, obviously. And 4 screws to undo for the cover. Which will not cooperate, of course. So really I did never have a look before in this. I have no idea of what to expect. Maybe it will be nothing, maybe it will be interesting. The suspense is very difficult here. Okay, last screw is off. I am ready to pull the cover, and here is what we have. Some weird PCB material, probably high frequency material, some adjustable capacitors, adjustable coil here, and these things which are totally not identified. In fact, they are identified because they are written C as capacitor, so it must be some kind of variable or adjustable capacitor. You can see they did write each part number on the case again here, very nice. And this is really in beautiful condition inside, quite amazing. Okay, so I guess it is almost all. I will reassemble it later, but for now there is one last thing I want to fight. It is this damn connector which did break my pliers. And I see here a bolt. So maybe if I find the correct size key, of course, which is not 8 millimeters, so maybe it is 6 or 7 millimeters. I can loosen it. This one will come at least. And now that it is loose, maybe I can wiggle it and it will come off. Who knows? You never know. It is moving at least, for sure. I guess it is half of the connector here. Not easy to reach under. Maybe I can try to spread a little bit here, like this. It is weird, I have 3 screws here. So I guess in fact it will come off if you undo the other side, but no, it will not come because you have all the pins in the way which are making pressure. I will try a little bit, but it looks like it will be a fail again with this thing. Yes, no. Does it move the other side? No, the other side is completely stuck in place. Quite sad, but it looks like it is a complex assembly here for just one plug at least. For sure, yes. It will rotate a little bit, but I cannot pull on it at all. Okay, so it will remain in place forever. I am reinstalling this bolt. For so it is not going anywhere. Here we are. Okay, so I guess it is the end of this teardown. As you can see, it was really tedious. So now I will try to reassemble all this and the device will go back in storage. So thanks for watching. Do not forget to check my other videos, to subscribe, to share, to like, and check my favorite videos also on my playlist. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.